Hey everybody, Cannon here with the special Halloween edition of MOREtech Makes, where we show you all the cool stuff you can make with MOREbot. In this episode, we're going to be using the base robot to drop a spider on my friend Kaushik. All that I'm going to need for this is 4 dowels, some fishing line, and our spider. Let's get started. So, the first thing we're going to do is take off one of the wheels. And it can be the right or the left, it doesn't really matter. But what we're going to want to do is undo the tiny screws that go into the motor hub. And don't take anything else off yet, but basically what that'll allow us to do is pull out these dowels and replace it with longer ones. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Make sure your robot's unplugged before you do this too. So you don't need to take it all the way out, just loosen it enough to where the dowels can become loose. And go ahead and rotate it to the other one. Okay, after you've loosened those a little bit, go ahead and snap the bearing off. So you got your bearing. And you should just be able to pull these out. And there's your shaft. And now your wheels can come off too. So now we're going to go ahead and get our 4 longer dowels. And we're just going to insert them back into that shaft hub. Make sure they're flush on the ends. And we're going to screw it back in. Start from right here. So give the dowels a little bit of a tug. They should be really snug in there. You're going to go ahead and take that bearing, and you're going to slip it out of the shaft mounts, snap mounts, and you're going to flip it around. So the taller part of the bearing should be facing outside away from the snaps. Go ahead and put the dowels back on the bearing, and just slip it down and snap it onto your frame. So, last thing we're going to do is take the wheel and put it back on. And there you go. So now it should rotate all the same, it's just the wheels are out there. So we're going to go ahead and plug this back in and test it with the Bluetooth app again. You should notice that it fits. So the next step, we can go ahead and unplug our robot. And we're going to get out the fishing string. So how much fishing string you cut is really dependent on how far you want your spider to be able to drop. I'm going to go ahead and cut it at least a few arm lengths, because I want it to be able to go quite a ways. And you can always shorten it later if you need. So go ahead and take the scissors and just cut off your fishing line. And we can wrap up the spool and set it aside. So now I've got this kind of mess of fishing line. And what we're going to do is tie a knot in one end. We're going to take that loop, and we're going to loop it over one of these dowels. And the key is that you loop over just one and not all 4 of them. And you're going to kind of push it towards the middle. So this loop should be right here in the middle. And then you're going to take your wheel, and you're going to insert that wheel over that shaft. So it should look something like this. Now we can go ahead and test this. My robot is on right now. Got the app, and I'm just going to hold it and wind it up. And you'll notice that it is winding. And we can test that in the reverse and drop it down. Alright, I think we're ready to attach a spider. Okay, now that we have our winch set up and the fishing line is attached, we're going to go ahead and tie the spider to the other end, which is where it gets fun. For this, you really just need to loop around the spider with the fishing line and tie a knot in it. Try to get it around the middle so that when the spider is balancing, it's hanging somewhat realistically. And again, you don't have to be a great knot tyer, just do something that works. Okay, my spider hangs. Let's go ahead and test it. So for this, because I don't have a lot of room, I'm just going to drag it across the table with the robot. Ah! So I've got my robot set up here, and let's see how it does. Alright, it drags the spider. And let's see how it does dropping it. Alright. Looks like a spider to me. Okay, so now that this works, we're gonna go ahead and set it up and start scaring some people. Kaushik just went to the bathroom, and we're gonna set up the spider and prank him when he comes out of it, so hopefully it doesn't come out too soon. We just gotta sit. Dude! Gotcha. Check it out. Oh my god. Why? That's cute, right? Why do you like this?